Hello everyone, I'm Tracy and thank you for tuning in today. I've recently had a very interesting conversation that I wanted to share with you all. What you're about to see, we're going to discuss the craft seen flying over Maui during the fire. I'll be showing images and videos that I have not yet shared on my channel. So I hope you find this information helpful. Please chime in the comments below with your thoughts. And please subscribe if you have not done so already. So with that, here is the conversation.
All right. Thanks, Tracy. So when you first posted this chopper, I was already looking at military helicopters that were seen in some of the videos from the 8th and the 9th, but I couldn't see them well enough to identify any of them. However, this photo was clear enough to see that it's definitely a Seahawk, and it does have the Raytheon multispectral electro-optical targeting system. It's basically an electronic eye mounted on the nose that can see in multiple spectrums at once, such as normal vision and infrared, or heat vision. It also electronically assists the targeting mechanism to aim its weapons more accurately than humans can. Seahawk detachments typically perform anti-submarine and anti-mine operations, which often utilize a laser module about the same size and shape as this extra fuel tank and in the same position. So it's especially easy to confuse at first, especially when the numbers have been covered or removed as they were over Maui. Then I found a Pentagon press briefing from Air Force Brigadier General Pat Ryder, where he reported that the Navy's Maritime Helicopter Strike Squadron 37 sent 2 Seahawk helicopters to assist the Coast Guard with search and rescue. Seahawks can perform search and rescue operations, but the only helicopters that rescued anyone were a Navy Chinook that rescued 14 people and a Coast Guard Dolphin that rescued 17. On seaforces.org, the HSM 37 Squadron are called the Easy Riders, and you can see their insignia, along with pictures of each of their choppers, including number 41 seen here, which is the exact same chopper seen over Maui, and I'll show you how I know. One of the first things to look at is the insignia, which has a man riding on a dolphin. You can sort of see that in your photo, even though it's kind of washed out by the glare. Anyway, the crew of this particular Seahawk posted about their mission on Facebook, where they claim to have searched the coastline for survivors who escaped the wildfires in Lahaina and helped to coordinate firefighting efforts by identifying hotspots from the air. Now, based on the apparent configuration of the chopper, this is what they appeared to be equipped to do, so why cover or remove the numbers? Besides the missing number on the chopper, another oddity is found in their Facebook posts from the days prior to the fire, where they packed up early before the end of Exercise Talisman Sabre, which claims to be not just an exercise, and shipped back home to Pearl Harbor to rendezvous with the USS Wayne E. Meyer in anticipation of the response to Hurricane Dora as part of the Defense Support of Civil Authorities, which wasn't actually activated until sometime between 3:21 p.m. and 4:30 p.m. on August 8th, and because of a fire, not a hurricane. The Facebook photos seemed very careful not to show the number. However, Easy Rider 41, according to its red exhaust covers, may already not have its ID number showing on the plane to Pearl Harbor, while number 31 clearly did in the previous Facebook post and reel. This is the exact same helicopter seen over Maui. USS Wayne E. Meyer, DDG 108, was one of the many ships that responded to the Hawaii Emergency Agency request for defense support of civil authorities from the Joint Task Force Civil Support on the afternoon of August 8th. However, other responding ships, which typically do not anticipate disaster relief, were seen by Tyler Turner the day before on August 7th, as interviewed by Eric West. These ships may include the USS America, LHA-6, along with its entire strike group, which includes the destroyers, submarines that corroborate with Tyler's accounts of submarines, warships, and carriers seen on the surface, as well as possibly the Ronald Reagan carrier strike group, which were likely in range the day before the fire. The U.S. Naval Institute has a fleet and marine tracker map that updates about once a week with a couple-day lag, showing the positions of most of the U.S. Navy fleet and marine vessels. As you can see, both the America Amphibious Ready Group and the Ronald Reagan Carrier Strike Group were within range. But what's even stranger is that Hawaii is totally missing from the official U.S. Naval Institute map. Nearly the size of an aircraft carrier, the USS America, LHA-6, is capable of carrying dozens of helicopters, MV-22 Ospreys, and F-35 Joint Strike Fighter aircraft, along with more than 1,700 Marines and their equipment. Amphibious ships are specifically designed to operate relatively close to the shore, using landing craft in support of amphibious operations ashore. It often forward deploys with the Ronald Reagan Carrier Strike Group, providing ordnance, critical logistical, and medevac support, although it's mostly for anti-mine missions as well as humanitarian search and rescue missions. The DoD basically dispatched any vessels that were in range within the Indo-Pacific Command, which just finished hosting the War Games exercise Talisman Sabre, which claims to be not just an exercise aboard the USS Ronald Reagan CVN-76, which was ironically called for help. From July 22nd to August 4th, 2023, Talisman Sabre 23, not just an exercise, was conducted. For 2 weeks, the Guardians from STARCOM's Range and Aggressor Delta 11 and their 310th Operations Group U.S. Air Force Reserve Associates put joint warfighters through their paces at Talisman Sabre 23. Talisman Sabre is a biennial large-scale military exercise between Australia and the United States that started in 2005. This was the 10th and largest iteration of the exercise, with more than 13 countries participating. U.S. Space Force weapon systems, operated by the U.S. Air National Guard's 216th Electronic Warfare Squadron, EWS, conducted jamming missions against target signals representing the opposing forces' critical communications paths. Additionally, joint exercise participants were challenged to use their best electronics protection procedures, while the 527th Space Aggressor Squadron conducted threat representative attacks on friendly systems. Meanwhile, the electronic support crews of the 72nd Intelligence, Surveillance, and Reconnaissance Squadron assessed electromagnetic spectrum activity and provided real-time intelligence to all. After the 11 days of space operations, the combined operations, intelligence, range, and aggressor teams spanning 2 continents executed numerous space engagements. In addition to contested space training, aggressors also provided expert instruction on adversary tactics and recommended countermeasures to a large number of joint and allied service members. U.S. Air Force Major Theron Berry, 216th EWS, acknowledged the vital role of Delta 11 in the space component's success, stating that it would not have been possible to demonstrate the counter-communication system and crew capabilities without realistic environments provided by the NSTTC electromagnetic range. The orbital component of the NSTTC electromagnetic range is a network of satellites operated by Space Force that can provide a demonstration anywhere in the world, basically turning the whole world into a potential Space Force test range. On July 28, 2023, during Exercise Talisman Sabre, Lockheed Martin won an OUSD R&E, which stands for the Office of the Undersecretary of Defense for Research and Engineering. They won a contract for demonstrating 500 kilowatt lasers, which are to be installed on large warships like the USS Ronald Reagan, which was in the Pacific returning from hosting Exercise Talisman Sabre 23 at the time of the Maui fires. And within the next 18 months, these upgrades will make it onto smaller land, air, and space platforms. The Department of Defense has also requested 1,000 kilowatt lasers, or 1 megawatt, for the High Energy Laser Scaling Initiative Phase 3, and Lockheed Martin plans to compete for that contract as well. So this basically brings us to the end of the conversation about the helicopter, but I'll pick up where I left off in a future video where I go into do and what it can and can't do. In the meantime, I wrote a WordPress article called Towards the Danger, the democide of the Hawaiian native capital of Lahaina, Maui, that covers all of this and several other aspects of the fire, including an extensive timeline of events that will get updated over time when new information becomes available. So that's basically all I have for you today. So back to you, Tracy, and thanks for having me on.
So I want to thank Shane for putting that amazing presentation together. And if you want to read his article and get more information, I'll put the link in the description so you can go there. And be looking out for a follow-up where we will be going through the aftermath and explain the anomalies that we're seeing in the devastation of the Lahaina fire. So with that, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all soon. Bye.